Hey guys, I'm the Burke and I do things. And if you are new here, my name is Rachel. I'm 32 years old and I just had my first baby. She is currently 10 weeks old as I'm filming this video. And I wanted to make a video talking about my experience starting breastfeeding and how I was able to stop and eliminate my milk supply. I found when I was trying to stop breastfeeding that it was very hard for me to find testimonials from other women on how they were able to successfully stop their milk supply. So this was something I really wanted to make a video on to help other people who may not really know what they're doing, because a lot of the information out there is so vague, I found. So I kind of created my own way of stopping my milk supply because I just kind of had to wing it and figure it out myself. So if that is something you're interested in hearing of, my story of breastfeeding, which was very, very short, and how I was able to eliminate my milk supply, then keep on watching. Let's go. So I'm briefly going to go over my specific experience in the hospital. So me and my husband went in knowing that we decided we were going to attempt to breastfeed, but we weren't really emotionally attached to breastfeeding. We were going to see if we liked it, how it worked. I guess it was more so me, but we were gonna see how it went in the hospital and kind of decide from there. So my daughter was born on a Monday and we did begin breastfeeding right when she was born. And I breastfed her for 2 days. And at the end of the second day, I was pretty upset. And I knew going in that people are very pushy when it comes to breastfeeding. And for the record, if you are in the comments here to pressure people into breastfeeding, like, you're just getting blocked. But I knew that there were going to be nurses that were going to be pushy, and I knew there was going to be a lactation consultant who was going to be pushy, which that shouldn't be a thing. It should just be feed your baby, end of sentence. But at the end of the second day, I was very well aware that my daughter had lost 10% of her body weight. And that was because I was not producing enough milk to feed her. And not one nurse asked if I wanted help supplementing or even brought up the fact that she had lost that much body weight. I had to go out of my way to say, can I have formula to feed her because she's not eating enough? So like at 2 days old, I was already kind of pretty ticked off with the whole process. On day 3, so at this point it's a Wednesday, that was when I was trained to use my breast pump. So I did receive this for free from my insurance. I do believe that if you live in the United States, your health insurance should cover a breast pump. I specifically had the Spectra S2. It was okay. Going back, if I had known, I would have picked the S1. I just assumed S2 meant like the newer model. I don't think it does. The S2 only works if it's plugged into a wall. The S1 is chargeable and you can move anywhere. But if you are looking to get a breast pump and you don't know how to get one through insurance, you can go to Aeroflow. I'm gonna link the link down below if you don't know how to get your breast pump for free. It was super easy to do. So I was trained the 3rd day how to use that. So at that point, I was exclusively pumping and supplementing with formula. So I was really able to figure out how much she was being fed to make sure she was getting enough, because apparently no one else really cared about that happening except me. Also, if you are wondering why I was in the hospital so long, I did have a C-section and they wanted to keep me through Friday. So she was born first thing Monday. They wanted to keep me through Friday. And I had this experience during the COVID pandemic and we were trapped in that room. Like, my husband could not even walk out the room door. We couldn't have visitors. Like, we were just trapped and we were ready to leave. So by Thursday morning, we left. So by Thursday morning, we were still pumping and supplementing with formula. I got home on Thursday night. And at this point, we really were just like, we weren't digging the stress of breastfeeding and everything. And we were kind of getting to that point where we were pretty sure it was not for us. But Thursday night, my milk did come in. When your milk comes in, you get really sick. And I don't mean, like, at least for me, I wasn't like vomiting sick. Like, I felt like I had the flu and I was dying. So Thursday night, I wound up with engorgement and clogged ducts, which was not fun. We can talk more about that in a little bit. But by Friday morning, I was like, that's it, I'm done. I need to figure out how to get rid of my milk supply. We're doing formula. And that is where I didn't really know what to do. So the first thing I did was I called my doctor, and of course they're like, oh, well, if you want to continue breastfeeding, you can have a lactation consultant come to your home depending on your insurance plan. And I was like, no, that's not what I want. I want to stop. And they only had 2 bits of advice. The first thing they said was to wear a tight sports bra, which If you are not planning to breastfeed to begin with, you should take a tight sports bra with you to the hospital instead of like a regular bra. So I actually used the ones that I really liked in my first trimester of pregnancy. I can link them down below. They're from Target. They're really very supportive. When I was in my first trimester, I was in so much pain up here. Those are the only bras I could wear, so I wore those bras. And they told me something that my mom had been told when she had me and my siblings, which was to put cabbage in your bra. Apparently something about cabbage slows down the process of the milk. I don't fully understand the science, and it was really hard to like understand. Like, I did a lot of Google researching, but I did that for a few days. I would leave cabbage in my bra. It was weird. It wasn't my favorite thing. But one of the things they tell you is as you're pumping, because you still need to take the milk out or else it's going to be extremely painful, which it does get painful if you don't take the milk out. They just kept saying, instead of pumping when your baby feeds, you pump when you need to get rid of the milk because it's getting uncomfortable. But it was hard for me to understand how that was going to work because you're still telling your body you need to produce milk. The whole idea is your body produces milk based on you removing the milk, I guess. Because it's not a baby taking it, it's taking it, but it's still the same thing. So basically, what I personally decided to do was to kind of create my own way of telling my body that I did not need milk still to be produced. So as of that first day when I decided to stop, I had been pumping 15 minutes on each side. So what I decided to do was, because I did not want to continue to get engorged because it's extremely painful, I wanted to figure out a way to slowly wean my body off of needing to produce. So what I wound up doing is every day, my pumping sessions I would take down by about a minute. So if I started at 15, I would drop to 14, then 13, then 12 every day. And I think by the time I got to about, I want to say 5 to 6 minutes per side, that just seemed to be when my milk supply completely stopped. And I will say for about 2 weeks after that, I still was slightly leaking. So I really do recommend having breast pads, even if you're not planning to begin breastfeeding, like you're gonna leak. I personally got the ones from Lindsay Noah, I think is how you say the brand. I know they make like ones that you can wash and reuse a bunch of times. So let me tell you something, with a newborn, doing my laundry was like the last priority. There is no way I would have been able to keep up with washing them. So for me, the disposable ones definitely came in handy. Now, if it had been more of a long-term thing with me breastfeeding, I would have definitely eventually invested in the reusable ones. But for the short amount of time in the hectic newborn phase, it definitely made more sense to have the disposable ones. Now, I mentioned engorgement and blocked ducts. Now, there were 2 products that definitely helped with this because it's probably something that you're gonna run into if you're dealing with these things. As far as engorgement goes, I had also from the Lindsay Noah brand, these ice packs. I can link all these things down below, but they're basically round ice packs that if you get engorged, you can put them on your chesticles. But they also can be warmed in the microwave. If you are having clogged ducts, you can also use heat for them. So it was really nice having one product that could help with both problems. But the thing that honestly helped me the most with clogged ducts was I did have a Haka because, again, I was considering breastfeeding, so I already had one of these. These are pretty cheap. But what you can do is you pull this back. So let me demonstrate. So you pull this back and you basically want to fill this with warm water up to about where your nipple would reach. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add about a tablespoon or 2 of Epsom salt, and you're going to clamp this on and leave it there for 15 minutes to relieve some of the pain. For me, I had to do 2 rounds of it, but after 2 rounds, my duct was no longer clogged, and it really did work. It's like magical. But honestly, that was my experience. It took me about a week and a half postpartum to stop my milk supply, minus the little leaks for the next couple of weeks or so, but I no longer was dealing with engorgement and having to pump and such. So I assume if you had your milk supply coming in heavier or more produced than 5 days postpartum, the process might take a little longer. I can't speak to that matter, but I do know that for me, reducing my pumping by a minute every day helped me tell my body that I no longer needed it to be producing milk. It was very hard for me to find anything online about really how to stop making your body produce. So I thought that this information would be really helpful for someone out there who really doesn't know what they're doing, because I sure as heck did not know what I was doing. I'd love to hear any experiences down below of how you guys were able to stop your milk from coming in, because any tips and tricks will definitely be helpful in the comments. And I do have more videos coming. I'm going to be doing a postpartum must-haves for me, because every video I watched was for people who gave birth vaginally, and I realized I was not prepared for postpartum for a C-section. So I am going to be making a video for that. I'm going to be doing my must-haves for 0 to 3 months, because she's going to be 3 months and 2 weeks at this point. I'm going to be doing my top baby apps that I use, because let me tell you, there are a lot of apps on my phone that I am using every single day since having her. And I definitely am consolidating a bunch of regrets of things that just did not work out for us. So definitely stay tuned for those videos. Also, let me know any other postpartum videos or baby related content that you're looking forward to. Drop some ideas in the comments. And yeah, that is it for this video. As usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Twitter and my Instagram down below. Give them a follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.